Hey guys, for the last 3 years or so, a very close friend of mine has been going through a lot of medical issues, and he's been getting most of his treatment from one of the best hospitals here in Los Angeles. However, yesterday, just a few hours ago, his doctors informed him that they had pretty much reached the end of the road, and there wasn't anything more that they could do for him, and they gave him about a year to live. That's on top of the fact that about 2 months ago, another friend of mine, who lives here on the property where I live, she informed me that she has pancreatic cancer, and in the 2 months that she gave me the news, she's lost about 30 to 35 pounds, and she's just withering away. And she also has about a year or less to live. Now, of course, when they both gave me the news, I immediately gave them the gospel again. Before, when I gave it to them, they didn't really pay that much attention to anything that I was saying. But once I gave it to them again, their whole disposition changed, because they're now looking at death, and I think you look at things differently when you're staring death in the face, when you're standing at death's door. And so I was able to give them the gospel again, and as I said, their whole disposition changed. This time, they were listening more intently. And though they didn't believe on the Lord Jesus Christ right there, I can tell you that they did tell me that they appreciated me sharing the gospel with them again, and that they would look into the things that I said. So that was very heartening to hear. We're here today and we're gone tomorrow. Whether you're a believer or an unbeliever, we're here today, gone tomorrow. And the only question is, where are you going to spend it? If you're a believer and you die, you are taken immediately into the presence of the Lord. But if you're an unbeliever and you die, sadly, you'll go straight to hell. And you will stand before the Lord at the great white throne judgment, and you will be cast into the lake of fire. So the question is, where are you going to spend it? And as ambassadors of the Lord Jesus Christ, I think it is our duty to have a sense of urgency about giving the gospel to our friends, our co-workers, our family members, whoever is in our sphere of influence. We need to be faithful ambassadors and give them the gospel. As they say, eternity is too long to be wrong. All right. And so there must be a sense of urgency within us to give our family members and friends and co-workers, and as I said, whoever is in our sphere of influence, to give them the gospel so that they can be saved. Two of my friends, both of my friends are relatively young. Steve, who got the news yesterday, he's only 61, and my friend Kay, she's only 52, and so it's amazing that at such young ages, that they're relatively young. They're looking at death in less than a year, and it's a very traumatic time right now. But I do pray for their salvation, and I ask you, when you go before the Lord, just to remember them in your prayers. Remember Steve and remember Kay. Pray for their salvation. Pray that they would come to the knowledge of the truth and that they would be saved. As I said, eternity is too long to be wrong, and there needs to be a sense of urgency within all of us in these last days that we're living, and we need to be faithful ambassadors and give the gospel to whomever we come in contact with. So again, thank you for your prayers on their behalf, and I really do pray that they come to the knowledge of the truth, and that they get saved before they leave this earth. All right, so thank you again for your prayers, and God bless.